Hello, everybody. Hello, hello.
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 I'm so happy to be here. I'm with two of my very favorite Italians.
With the pleasure. It's
Yay!
an honor.
Winners.
And more than that, that's like a diminishment actually. I just two of my favorite creatures in the world that happen to live in Italy and speak Italian, among many other things. Miss
Thank you.
Joya and Marco. I was just getting us up on Instagram. Um, yeah, so um, we are we were part of last New Year's time. A beautiful, I think, pretty world changing class for all of us that I facilitated at the Castello di Casalborgone in Italy. It was a 3-day body class and showed me presence and silence, like aggressive presence and aggressive silence with in general and with our bodies and in a completely different way. Um, and we were actually going to do it again this year at New Year's time, and chose to do it in the spring, in April instead, and wanted to just chat a little bit about the class, and of course invite people to come and play with us. But really, like, this time of year it's actually the solstice tomorrow, which is the darkest day of the year, or maybe it's today. I don't know. I don't track. I'm not exactly sure the whole timing of it. But and this time of like really beautiful silence. There's so much I know for me that has changed in the past year with my body, like some really incredible things. And just getting more present with me, more present with my body and my creations. And so, yeah, just wanted to play with these two guys about all of that. So, what do you got? What you guys got?
Joya.
Marco.
A lot of silence, probably, right? Yeah.
Wow. I go first. Thank you, Marco.
Mhm.
So every time I talk with you, like my body just relaxes. It's like it's something like I cannot describe it. It's like when I'm like close to you, like with bodies or we just talk, my body's like, okay, we can relax
Mm.
and we don't have to do anything.
Mm.
And that's one of the gift of presence, when also you have someone else there, like you in this case, and Marco with you as well, but let me just talk with Eder first.
It's not personal. I get it.
When you have that space from the being and the body of someone else being there, just hey, you don't have to do anything, you can just be.
Yeah.
That creates in me and in my body a level of space and presence where it's actually, hey, I can just be, and that's a gift. So
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't planning to say sorts like this kind of stuff, but that's what was coming up while you were talking and being with you, guys here. It's like, how much do we make our bodies do something, force them into do something instead of just being as well.
Yeah. Yeah. True story. Yeah. It's been a big year for me of being facilitated by my body in a way that I've never chosen before. And my body just like showing me, like, moment after moment, day after day, what's possible that I haven't chosen yet. with my business, with my relationships, with my body, and just like inviting me to more stillness in a way. Like, and I don't mean like not moving. I just mean like the stillness that comes with presence, and then also just like the not creating my life and my business and all of that from like a frenetic space, but way more like being really aware of the future I'd like to have and that I would like to create and that I'd like to see in the world and on the planet. And like giving myself the time and the space for that. And it's amazing what, when we get present with ourselves, with each other. And I love what you said about that, because to me, it's like, there is such a, I've had a lot of like, I've been like craving that recently, like being with other people that are present, because they're kind of hard to find, unfortunately. Because it exponentializes, like when you're both willing to go there, it like exponentializes that and makes it available for everybody.
Yeah, I totally agree. And well, that's also something I got to learn with body processes, actually. The moment I choose to run a body process, or even on myself, on my body, there is this level of, okay, like let's just take some space where I can just be there and also look at what's going on, but not from like I have to change stuff, that kind of perspective of it's mandatory that we need to change something, but it's more from the curiosity also of being with your body and with others' body.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, hey, what's up?
Yeah, that's awesome. And just for anybody who doesn't know what a body process is, body processes are these hands-on energetic processes from access consciousness that we run. You like, someone gets on a table, it's energy work basically, and somebody puts their hands on and asks these energies to run, and creates so much change in space and possibilities in both of the bodies, whether you're on the table or not. And really, to me, is like there are these doorways into these energetic possibilities that our bodies actually know, but they need to be kind of like reminded of. And when I receive body processes, I'm like, oh, right, this, yeah, oh, yeah, and each one has its own flavor, its own uniqueness. Changes my whole life, which is pretty cool. So Marco's like our silent sentinel over there in the corner. Like he just finished before we went live. He's like, I just finished a class and I'm still like, processing all of it.
Also your body class was one of the most silent class I ever attended.
Yeah.
And doing such of a silence class in Italy, oh well. What an achievement.
Italians aren't known for their silence, just saying.
For me, that really kind of like sparkle with that specific class, 3-day body class at a castle with Heather. It's kind of like a magical combo already. Like you don't have reference point or how they're gonna go. And there is a sense of space with the bodies, which oftentimes when we think about bodies and in our conception of bodies are solidity. Bodies are also a lot of space. When there is space and presence with the space, everything is possible to change. And the silence is really much the invitation of it. When you're present in silent, in spacious, recognizing how spacious your body is, a lot is just available. And the beauty of this class for me was noticing that the change is not happening in the class, but the class is the change, and the change starts after the class. So for a couple of weeks, all the participants were kind of, oh wow, what just happened?
Yeah.
And their body was keep processing and processing, keep changing. 2 weeks.
Oh, beyond I've that class, so we're if you're just joining us, we're speaking about a 3-day body class that I did at the Castello di Castelbugrone last New Year's time.
Yeah.
And we're doing another one in April, end of April. That class, I've had more people come to me after, like months after that class, and tell me like how much is still changing in their worlds from it, and how much did change from it. And I think, you know, it totally up leveled for me what it is to facilitate a 3-day body class, what the 3-day body class is and can be. And also like the castle itself is this enormous, like being of just like deafening silence, you know, where it's a level of silence that I've never experienced anywhere else in the world that I've been, and especially in an indoor space, you know, and it like turns off your mind. You know, you walk in the doors and you're like, whoa! It was created to show us something completely different, and it does that very powerfully and more so all the time. And so the castle to me was really and is like a co-facilitator, you know, as are the body processes, as are the bodies in the room, you know. And it like just going, because I've never had this happen in a class before where people would ask me questions and I was like, I have nothing to say. Like, it was so interesting. I was like, you know, usually someone asks me a question, I have some sort of a ping energetically to start to go on to start to facilitate them. And this was just like, I was like, I got nothing for you, you know? And we just had to trust that, you know, and it ended up just being such a tsunami.
And I remember there were also some facilitation.
Yeah.
And facilitations were, I would say, like very precise or like big invitation. And so something also I noticed with your classes is there is a sense of future that comes with the presence, and that comes with the allowance of the bodies and being present. And I believe like maybe you have something to say about that, because for me it's just an energy, and it's something I notice not just in your body classes, in all the other classes like I attend so far. There is this sense of future and possibility and presence with it. So what's available about future in a body class with you?
Yeah, I love that question. Well, that's a big reason why I chose to start to do those classes. It took me a long time to get over a lot of points of view that I had about, you know, how hard it was to create that. And then finally I just did, and it was done. But I really, for me, it was like I always ask myself continually, more and more all the time, what is the future that I desire to see in the world, on the planet, that I desire to live, participate in, and create, you know, all of it. And it always, whenever I ask that question, like bodies are the very first thing that pop for me. And it's always like this possibility with our bodies that doesn't really exist, at least in sort of like, a bigger scale. And my body has been my greatest facilitator my whole life. And I'm so grateful for my body. It shows me like universes upon universes every day, and more all the time of what is true for me, what's possible, what is available, and not just for me, but like for all of us to live in communion with our bodies, with each other, with the planet. And a lot of people would say that's a lofty, fantasy, whatever. To me, it's not a fantasy. It's very much what I know. And it may be a few hundred years in the future. But I'm not going to not show up to create it as much as I can now, and to me, like the only way that we can create it is by being that ourselves, and so me being more with my body all the time, and then also facilitating whatever I can for other people to have what that is for them. And the beauty of it is that our bodies, it's hilarious because we have a mouth that speaks words, but our bodies actually they don't speak in words, even though the mouth is part of our body. It's funny, but our bodies communicate silently, and through touch and through sensation and all kinds of things. And we communicate with each other very much through touch. When our bodies touch each other, there is an enormous amount of, like, there's a huge exchange of information and energy and awareness that occurs, especially in something like a body class where you're actually touching each other with consciousness, from consciousness, for consciousness, and there isn't the agenda, the need, all that kind of stuff that usually comes with touch. So it's this totally different space of touch beyond agenda,
Wow.
and touch from contribution, that it doesn't exist anywhere else. And so that's, to me, why a lot of, and some of my body classes, we do a lot of facilitation, and some we don't, so it's not about defining it, but the words are not necessary, unless they are going to contribute, they'll contribute. But it's like there's so much already going on between and among the bodies, that it's like this space of 3 days to just drop into that is like, it's phenomenal. So I always, like, whenever I finish a 3-day body class facilitating, I'm always like, can I do this every day?
Mhm.
It's like the easiest thing in the world for me, and there's not nearly enough of it in my life. So more, please, universe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, if this is not a great invitation, I don't know what is.
At the castle as well,
Yeah.
which I have to say, like, every time I go there, and I was noticing it like some months ago, and it wasn't my first time going there, but actually I noticed how much the space of the castle was facilitating my body when I was being there,
Yeah.
even just for a coffee or a dinner or a lunch or a walk outside in the garden. It's this presence. And I've started to, like, really demanding of myself when I was there, like, to be that kind of energy of wealth and
Yeah.
prosperity.
Yeah.
And actually the castle showed me a lot. about that. And talking about that and bodies in a 3-day body class, I wonder what's gonna change that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll be there April. Do you guys know the dates? I can look. It's like the 26th or something like that.
Yeah, I think 26, 27, 28.
Yeah, 26, 27, 28. Which also, if anybody is going, anybody that doesn't live in Europe that's going to Europe for the Global Foundation, Access Consciousness Global Foundation class in Prague, that's the following weekend. So,
and Milano is beautiful at the times. Torino is beautiful at the time. But the two cities among which is the castle, closer to Torino. Both of them have an airport where people can land and have ease with like transportation and taxi and so to reach the castle.
Yeah.
And for me, I love actually how the castle assists you somehow, because body class also is a place of change, is a place of like when like energies gonna bring up, and sometimes those energies are quite uncomfortable, or like they bring up some intensities. So you might get sensitive in some point. And the presence of the castle is what keep inviting you to still be more.
Yeah.
Every day you come back and the castle is still there, still inviting you, still hug you with that energy. It's really the invitation of being more, which it's just an amazing combo with the class about your body.
Yeah, it really is. And if you would like to go and you're like, I don't know, if like the money is an issue or whatever, it's like ask the castle to contribute because it will. Yeah. It's an incredibly magnanimous entity, and is like really willing to gift to anybody who's willing to receive. So, yeah, and we call this Christmas presents for your body, sort of a little play on words. But I just want to invite everybody here listening now and in the future, let any energies that you're aware of here or you're like leaning into or your body's like, please, just let that be in your world now. You don't have to like take a class or come to the castle class or go to the castle or, it's like, if you perceive whatever it is that you're perceiving here and receiving here, that's available to you right now, just for the choosing, and that's the Christmas present, because we so often, this time of year is like our bodies kind of go by the wayside. And, we have this thing that we do with other people, where we kind of like give ourselves up more this time of year than any other time of year for a lot of people. And so like, tuck this in your pocket, these energies, and bring them into your world and let yourself have it now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Cannot wait.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody, with us live and later on in the future watching. And yeah, if you want more information, my website is heathernichols.com. And I think there's a landing page if you go /castle body. Pretty sure that's what it is. But if you can't find it there, just go to my website.
There's also a link over here somewhere.
What's that? We're live in like 7 places right now. So maybe somebody on my team can go pop links around, but I'm not going to do that. I'm lazy.
You can be the little helper of Santa Claus.
What's that?
Maybe Santa Claus, little helper.
Exactly. Yes.
You can just go around and like
exactly
shoot links here and there.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks, everybody. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.